This is the latest Tesla Model Y, the one that goes the furthest. It's the big battery, but rear-wheel drive only, the long-range single motor, the one that gives the best efficiency and the biggest battery for the longest range. So this will go further than any other Model Y available, but exactly how far, we're going to test that today. I've owned this car for about an hour now, so we're going to put this on the motorway and see exactly what we get for efficiency, and then we can look at how much battery we use for our journey, pro-rata that out, and that's going to give us a very good idea of what real-world range capabilities are from 100% to 0%. So that's the main point of today, and I'm going to do some first impressions and reviews of this car as well, but they may follow more in other videos. This is really about its range and efficiency. As a point of comparison, we're going to be in convoy with this car. We're not trying to compare them directly, but because basically this is the long range but dual motor. So this is one of the earlier cars, 2022, long range dual motor. Actually probably the same batteries, but the dual motor car is never quite as efficient. However, we're doing the journey anyway. We're not sort of aligning these up to do this trip. We just happen to be doing this in convoy. So if you've got one of these now, it will form a good point of comparison, see how this car compares to that car. We know this has got allegedly improved aerodynamics, and it now is a bit more refined and a bit smoother ride comfort. Now, one thing that is interesting I've noticed today, which I didn't think about before, this one's now got the reflective glass roof. There's kind of a blue tinge there. It's heat reflective, which the older cars didn't have. In fact, the older Model 3s or Ys in this country didn't have it, apart from a handful I've seen. You may be watching from another country where you do get a heated, the sun reflective glass roof, but in the UK it's not been a thing until now. So we do have it, which might mean a bit less air conditioning needed. I have to say, I think I can feel it from in the car, a bit less warmth on my solar panel. So that should be even more efficient. You know, everything that can be done to make this car efficient should have been done. This is straight from picking it up 50 miles ago. So I've owned it for an hour, picked it up, already driven here. I'll record the efficiency for the whole day, and then we'll just get that comparison and see just how far this car can go. I've driven the previous version as well, this shape, long range rear-wheel drive. Loved it, super efficient, drove all the way back from Leeds to the south coast with great efficiency, ample charge left. So we know you can basically drive the length of the UK or England in one of these. But again, different days, different conditions, and let's use this opportunity to give it a kind of point of comparison as well. Both on 19-inch wheels. This one, however, now seems to be shipping with Continental tyres. So we've got Sport Contact 7s, whereas the original tyres were always Hankooks. So I was expecting to see Hankooks in this, but we've got these Contis. They seem quiet enough. The first drive, hard to feel any difference, to be honest, between the two. But again, if this isn't as efficient as that one, let's blame the tyres, shall we? The tyre pressures and everything, we'll check this one and this one straight from the factory, which means sometimes they're overinflated. We should check. I haven't actually checked it. Yep, 42s. Okay, they're right. I had a Tesla before I picked up, and it was like 50 psi in a tyre. So that seems to be good. They're set right, and we'll check these in a minute. So that's it for now. We don't have the longest journey today. It's only about 65 miles back. But like I say, a good point of comparison. We're doing a trip anyway. I've made the car my own already. I got my big bottle of squash. I've already eaten a pan au chocolat in here.
Brand new Model Y. 37 miles. Already eaten pan au chocolats.
I'm going to eat it one day. It is what it is. It's going to be eaten in. So don't be too precious about it. Okay, let's just make sure we've got the trips reset. So it's charged there. So far today, 230 watt hours per mile, so just under 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Again, motorway coming up here from a cold start. Let's just make sure we've got our trip reset there. So trip A is reset, and I've got 62% of the battery, which displays a range of 207 miles. So should be quite capable of well over 300. Let's see what it gets. All right, Tom, you're going to go and reset the trips on that, and then we'll head off. Okay, there we are. We just covered 69.5 miles coming back there. Very nice car to drive, absolutely it is. I've got 43% of the battery still, which means I use 19% of the battery to cover 69.5 miles, which means if I pro-rata that out, 365 miles of capable range. Now, that was a fairly efficient drive in that it's fairly warm. The car's currently reading 18 degrees. It's obviously dry. We drove back as quick as we could. This could have been a Model Y Performance, so it would have been exactly the same time. So speed limits, music on, air conditioning on, but there are a couple of sections on the M3. Anyone who's around the UK and the south would know whether you got 50 miles an hour speed limits to do some roadworks there, and traffic's a bit heavy, so the slower the traffic, the more efficient the car. But we did the journey as quick as we could. My average was 199 watt hours per mile, so that's just over 5 miles per kilowatt hour. So yes, impressive. My average for the whole day, by the way, is 212 watt hours per mile. So that includes the journey up, which was just 70 on the motorway, and not the sort of slower New Forest bit, which we have coming back here. So I don't know what the other car's got yet, so I'm going to get in and take a peek at that. Let's have a look. I'll tell you what, actually, I'm going to make a guess, and I want you to guess as well. So we just driven straight back from down the M3, traffic a bit heavy because 50. So quite an efficient run. Under 200 watt hours per mile, by the way. Real world rate 365 miles. What would you normally get from one of these, a 2022 dual motor long range?
With weather like this, probably about 236.
I was going to say 238. Oh my God, so close, yeah. I would say so, that kind of number. So I use 19%, and let's say this probably used 22% or something like that. I don't know. Right, let's have a look then. So yeah, that shows quite an efficient run actually, because the your energy graph is all green. Oh, 219. So yeah, quite an efficient run, wasn't it, that journey then? So that goes to show that was quite an efficient journey. 234 is a pretty good efficiency, isn't it, normally, Serge? So that was since charge, which was 2 miles before that. So 219. So there you go. That's quite a good comparison, and still good. Of course, this is a 22 car. All the Model Ys in the UK heat pump cars, they are efficient. But of course, the other one is more efficient, as I would hope. If this was more efficient than that, I'd have been a bit upset, of course. So an efficient drive. And what do you use, Tom, for percentage of battery?
I left on 73, sorry.
73, okay, so minus 51. So you used 22% of the battery compared to 19% that I used. So that gives you, what was 69.5 divided by 22. That gives this car a real world range today of over 300 miles, actually, 316 miles. So yeah, that was an efficient journey then. So that's why it's useful to do a comparison at the same time. So we know, although that's incredible efficiency there, it was just generally an efficient run. So I would expect more typically to see maybe 220 watt hours per mile from this compared to about the 240ish watt hours per mile from that. So, you know, an improvement because it's rear wheel drive only. Of course, when you're driving gently, even the dual motor ones just use the rear motor, but nonetheless, they always are just a bit more efficient when they're rear wheel drive only. Incredibly capable though, as we can see. Very nice to drive, just that smoother ride, the better seats. Now, the one difference in spec between a dual motor long range and rear wheel drive long range is the stereo. This doesn't have this sub and the however many speakers it's got, but I still found it okay. It's a bit more like having a good sound bar at the front. It's still plenty bassy. I haven't turned the bass up at all, and I was listening to a bit of Slipmat on the way back there, a bit of house. Don't need to turn the bass up. I do find the newer Model 3 Highlands and the Junipers with the full audio a bit bassy for my ears, and I like bass. So, and then these can be as well. So anyway, the standard audio, if you're worried about it, you probably find it's fine. It just seemed a bit less spatial, but still plenty good enough for me and what I would listen to and how loud I would listen to it. So that's it from this video. First initial range test and first impressions of the Model Y done. There'll be some more videos coming soon, so make sure you stay subscribed. See you next one soon.